Podcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on a Friday late morning. We're going to talk about Retirement Boss Radio today. So, as you all noted from your email, and hopefully you had a chance to maybe even go visit the website since you decided to join us here today. Retirement Boss Radio is a program that has been put in place for us by the coach, Dave Pemper. Dave has a lot of experience in radio, and he has built a program over the last about 12 months, very specific to exactly where we were trying to get, and done a great job with it. So we've been very happy with the results that Dave has seen on his own radio program, and also the results that we have seen from the few folks that we have gotten started with Retirement Boss Radio already. So great time to get in on the opportunity with us here at IAMS. We're going to talk about that hopefully in depth here today. I'm going to go through and we'll have a couple of slides here as we get started, and then please, during the course of the event, if you have some questions, go ahead and type them in and we will get them answered just as quickly as we can. There'll be a poll that will come up as well. The sooner that we can get those asked and answered helps us keep moving along as well. So thank you all very much for joining us. My name is Steve Murray. I'm the Executive Vice President and one of the co-owners here at IAMS. Work pretty closely with Dave on developing programs that are generally designed and built to help our agents gain success, whether that's via the sales and marketing part of their business, the prospecting part of their business, or the training aspect that can help you on a day-to-day basis in your business. Today, we're really going to concentrate on what I would call kind of a sales and marketing approach. As you know, we do seminars with Dave. We do some just business building training with Dave, and to be able to include Retirement Boss Radio now in that, I think really is a great triad of opportunities to help our agents grow their business. So with that, let's go ahead and get started here. Again, thank you all for joining us. We'll run through just a few things here real quickly. I want to make sure that you all are aware of a couple programs that we have to help you. One, of course, is very germane to our topic here today because there is some expense involved with Retirement Boss Radio. We do have a marketing reimbursement program that can help you offset some of those expenses. Another way that you can help offset some of your expenses with money from IAMS is through our Referred Producer program. Very simple program. Both of them are simple, and you can see right before you how they work. But the RPM program is one that I think kind of catches guys off guard. So I'll go through it here really quickly. When you refer someone to us, we take it from there. It's nothing out of your referee's pocket. We just pay you a little bonus based on the business that they do. When you get someone appointed, we pay you the $50 licensing bonus, and then when they start doing business, then you start earning an override on their business. You can see before you how that can add up. So if you refer somebody that does $1 million of production, you're going to earn $2,000 of bonus throughout the year. If you refer 3, you'll earn $6,000 of bonus. Literally, some of the bigger checks that we send out right now are on the RPM program. A lot of that is because that's one of the ways that we generally build our business here at IAMS is through RPM, but also we're fortunate to have many good agents that look to us and are proud to refer their colleagues over to us. So we hope that you feel that way as well, and we look for your referrals. There are about 7 of you on here that have not yet done business with us. You're licensed with us, but have not done business, and you're fairly newly licensed. So keep in mind these new producer bonus programs that can help you build your business. You can elect to receive your benefits at any one of those levels. And for instance, if you said to me, hey, Steve, I'd really like to take this and use it towards getting up and running in the radio world, I would do that for you as well. So what we like to do generally with these builders is to build something that helps you gain more traction in your business and gain more prospects to talk to and gain better closing on the prospects that you're working with. So you can see most of those are built around that. Now we've got a travel package involved in there as well. So for those of you that don't want to utilize it that way, but hopefully you'll take advantage of the new producer bonus program, those few of you out there that have not yet gotten to where you're doing business with us here at IAMS. those of you, I'm going to speed through this because I know that those of you out there know very well the quality of our back office support. That submission and commission is really a strength here at IAMS. We do a great job of supporting you. Most guys are surprised to get as much attention to their business as we apply to their business when they're just getting rolling with us and then come to expect it and value it later. So let us help you on the back office of your business. If you're not getting that type of help right now, believe me, it can make a big difference in how your days go and where you're able to devote your time, whether it's more efficiency in gaining more prospects or more efficiency in giving you a little bit more free time to do the things that you want to do. So we're pretty good at that, maybe the best in the industry based on the feedback that I get from my competitors and from you all. So we appreciate your business, and we show it every day with great back office support. Creative marketing, whatever we can do as you're trying to grow your business, that's important to us. We think that there's a lot of things on the marketing side that if we all did a little bit better, we could meet many, many more new prospects and kind of build a better pipeline of prospects. So with that in mind, we built out a pretty substantial creative department here that can help you on a day-to-day basis with your business needs, whether that's the simple things like business cards and logos and things like that, whether it's getting your website or helping you with your Facebook or, building out a campaign on whether you're doing it via mail or doing it on Facebook or doing it via email to help grow your business. Consider it your own personal advertising and marketing department. Got some great folks over there that, by all accounts, are very just at the ready with some great ideas and some great strategies to help you grow your business. So they do a great job over there for our producers. So take advantage of the folks over there. Jacob, Sean, and Aaron do a great job. I'm website. Not enough folks use that. I know. I see the folks that register, then go in and maybe go in there once or twice, then don't go back. And we've tried to build that website with the tools that you need, and we're always expanding that. Soon you'll also be able to view your business on there as well. So a lot of great reasons. You'll also be able to do all of your e-apps through our portal that will save you time and filling out apps and things like that. So if you haven't registered for the website, do so. Or better yet, give your sales director a call and say, hey, walk me through what I should be looking at on your website. We'd love to do that for you. Retirement Analyzer, really simple little program. Take advantage of that. We make it available to our producers at no cost. That normally, if you went to buy it on your own, you'd be paying somewhere in the $700 annually on a monthly basis range. So we can take care of that cost for you. Great program to help you build a good relationship with your clients that you want to give them a more holistic and complete approach to where they're standing on their retirement journey. And so Marcus Soller here in the office can help you with that. If you say, hey, I would just want to try it out, he'll get you a link. You can experiment with it. If you want to spend some time with him and have him walk you through how it works and how guys and gals use it, he'll do that for you as well. So call Marcus here at our office and just ask for a walkthrough on the Retirement Analyzer. IAMS Wealth. If you were an IAR or think you might want to be an IAR, in other words, get into wealth management business, give our team at IAMS Wealth a call. Give Charles and Mike a call. If you feel like your fees that you're being charged by your RIA are too high, give them a call. If you don't think you're earning enough, if you are getting a large enough slice of the fees pie, give Mike and Charles a call. If you're not happy with the service that you're getting from your current RIA, give Mike and Charles a call. If you're wondering whether we can help you get your IAR, if you're thinking about making that a part of your business, which right now you probably should be, then give them a call. We're pretty good in all those areas and can really help you. So we'd love to work with you there. We've got a training coming up, an academy training coming up. We've just finished one. We'll have another one coming up in early September. If that's something that you're interested in joining us for, what I'd like you to do is just select yes on this poll. And actually, I don't have a poll for that. So what I want you to do is give me a quick call, and I'll be glad to send you out a sample itinerary and a registration form, and then we'll get you set up. We'll probably do 2 more yet this year. Next one, as I mentioned, is September, probably one shortly after that as well. So if you want to come in for one of our academies, let me know. Give me a call at 800-255-5055, and we'll go ahead and get you set up for that. Love to see you all at the Ritz. Qualification very close to ending. I'm looking at our attendees, and I know that many of you are fairly well down the path of qualification. Congratulations on that. If you're not sure where you are, give us a call, give your annuity sales director a call or your life sales director a call and ask for your current standings. Be glad to get you out that. You should have received a letter just recently too as to what your standings are currently. We've got until the end of June to qualify for that. We're going to go down to the Ritz-Carlton, beautiful Naples, Florida. We'd love to have you and your guests join us there. Okay, so next we want to talk about Retirement Boss Radio. Dave, are you with us?
Absolutely.
All right. You're hopefully everybody else can hear you better than I. Looks like you're a little, if you can come closer to your speaker, that would be great. I'm going to turn over to you shortly the keyboard so you can move through the slides with us.
All right.
But in the meantime, why don't you tell the folks a little bit about your background in radio while I get that set up?
Can you hear me better now, Steve, or not?
No, I can't, but that doesn't mean the rest of the folks can. In fact, folks, if you are able to hear Dave just fine, just type in a yes on and hit send, and we'll know that for sure. David, if there's anything you can do to increase your volume, I would suggest that you do that as well.
Okay, good. I did that, so I don't know what's happening. So hopefully it'll get better.
Good.
Yeah, and certainly type in if you can hear me or know that it's hard to hear me. If not, then I'm going to get one of my administrators in here because they're a lot smarter than I am when it comes to technology. Yeah, my name is Dave Pimper. Been in the business since 1981. First 3 years with insurance, and then I got into to brokerage. Went with a national firm in '84 to '85, and then in '85 I went independent. And I've been independent ever since. And my expertise really works around the pre-retired and just retired market. People that are in transition. That's what I use. I work with people in transition from working to not working, from working to working part-time, from retiring and getting Social Security, that transition. Maybe you're going from accumulation to more preservation and income on your savings, investments, annuities, etc. That whole transitional change is when there's a really good time to work with people's monies, and so that's my expertise. I'm a big marketer. I like marketing. Have done 4 short of 500 public seminars since the mid 80s when I started in 85. And that sounds like a lot, but that's only about 15 or 20 seminars a year. That's only 7, 8, 9 mailing campaigns with 2 seminars off of each one. It's just that I've never stopped. I've just continued to do them and do them and do them. In radio, which we're talking about today, most people think that radio from a cost standpoint is out of their budget. And so how wrong they are, especially if you're doing seminars or you have done seminars and didn't have success. Now, I'm going to say right now, I coach on Social Security seminars, 401k, IRA rollover seminars that we have. We have a workshop system through the FMO of IAMS who co-host all of this, called 8 Potential Mistakes Retirees Make with Their Money. We have an in-service non-hardship withdrawal seminar. I do a lot of different seminars. Really, the focus now is more on Social Security claiming, just because it's the hot topic, and it has been for quite a while, and it's even more now with all the baby boomers, with their higher amounts that are in their Social Security benefits. But what happens is, am I saying being a radio host for an hour on your local radio station is better than seminars? No, I'm not going to say that. It's a different way to get in front of hopefully a qualified prospect. But the beautiful thing here is, I like seminars. I mean, we set up the appointments right at the seminar. Here, a call center. When we say open up the phone lines, and this is a pre-recorded, but we say open up the phone lines, it sounds live, and it goes right into an inbound call center who takes that call, and I test that call every week. I want to make sure they're answering in time, they're answering it properly, they're professional when they answer it, but their goal is to get information and set the appointment. It's not to get information to mail out something to them. I really like that. And so what happens here is that I did it was from 7:15 to 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday mornings for 11 years. I did a live radio program with a smallish AM radio station, WLAQ, and Randy Davis was the owner of that. But it wasn't to get appointments. It was for me to get well known. And in this small town of 50,000 people that I was at my practice then, it kind of gave me some celebrity status because I was on the radio. Someone who's on the radio is different than if you're doing a seminar. You don't have celebrity status. You can certainly say, hey, that guy's pretty educated, he has some expertise, but radio, because it touches so many, is just a different way of marketing. And so I did 11 years there, and then I did 13 years on radio, pre-recorded again on a market report at the end of the day, kind of Paul Harvey in the news. And so that lasted 4 to 5 minutes. So I've got a pretty darn good radio background. And about a year ago, I told Steve Murray, who's hosting, co-hosting this event, this webinar, co-owner of Insurance Agency Marketing Services, the FMO, I said, hey, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna go back and start doing a radio show again. And it was gonna be, I'm living in Fremont, town of 26,000, 30 miles outside of Omaha. Omaha's got just shy of 900,000. The big AM station, the Rush Limbaugh station, is KFAB. And I had already called down there, and it was extremely expensive for an hour. But then I went out and I told Steve I was going to do this, and Steve said, hey, I have a lot of interest, because we've never done a radio show for marketing for our agents. And I said, well, yeah, that'd be great, because I was already coaching for them with seminars and sales process coaching and helping with the annuity academies and et cetera. And I've done that did that for 13 years before that. And so he went in with me, financially helped me some to go in and kind of test the market. And yeah, in the beginning it wasn't real good the first month, and they got better the second month and better the third month. And after the third month, not that it's on cruise control, but it certainly has been my return on an investment has been extremely strong, very, very good, and the quality of the prospect that I'm talking to is very well. Now, this is a turnkey system. It's a turnkey system, so that's the nice thing about it. It's A through Z. And what I like also about it is most people are going to go in and have you, because you're promoting you. So if you're in city XYZ, you're going normally to an AM station, could be FM, but it's going to be talk, some kind of talk radio. So it's where the Sean Hannitys or the Laura Ingrams or the Dave Ramseys or Kim Commandos or what used to be Howard Stern. Of course, now he's on Sirius or XM radio. But what happens is it's that Rush Limbaugh, it's that kind of radio station that is normally an older adult. I mean, I'm 64 years old. I listen to talk radio a lot. Young kids don't, but you know what? I'm not reaching out to young kids. And if your expertise is with Gen Xers or millennials, this is not going to be as good. It's not. This is for someone who's looking for the age of 50 and above. In fact, I just got a good call. I set the appointment. Father called in for his son. The father's 67. He works at a grocer here in town. Still works full time. He called because his son he was with a big box firm, and he just went in and he was with them for 23 years. It isn't a big deal. It's $84,000. He called for the son because he said he needs help, because we're going to move that out and put it into something that he goes, I know there's a lot. He said, I know there's a lot of risk in there. And I haven't seen it, but then I called the son. The son said, yeah, I knew Dad was doing that. I'm just so busy with my new job. Yeah. So and he's younger. He's 39 years of age. So I'm going to work with him, and it won't be as conservative as some of the people that I work with on the outside at the normal age groups. But I got a lot of radio background. I think in the next maybe 15, 20 minutes, you'll get a good feeling of what Retirement Boss Radio is. And the tagline is, take charge of your money. If you want to hear the actual show, we have a co-host, the production company. I'll go through that. We have a co-host. And if you want to hear it, you can go to www.retirementbossradio.com. retirementbossradio.com. And there'll be all of my last shows will be on there. So, and they're in 30-minute segments. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go through, we got about 10 slides or so, and this isn't going to take long. If you can hear me okay, can somebody just go in and type, hey, yes, I can hear you, because I feel like I'm coming across just fine.
Dave, you are. There have been a number of yeses that have popped up, so we're good.
Wonderful. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. See if I can get this forward. Yeah. So why radio? You know why? It reaches a ton of people. It reaches more than you can't hardly believe it. reaches more than a TV, than a smartphone, than a personal computer, than TV connected devices. Is that wild? Yeah, the average median age is 61. I love that. What do you think the average age? Here's my question for you today. My quiz question. What's the average age for retirement today in 2019? It's between 61 and 62. And that's the median age that listens to radio. Now, this is radio in general. It's broke about 56 male, 44 female. I don't have the figure, but if you look at talk radio, it probably, because there's all the sports talk shows too, it probably is geared a little more to the male than the female. But I tell you what, it's a great listening audience. In fact, who listens to talk? You know, you're looking at 75,000 household income or better, averages over 12 hours a week. You know why? People in their cars commuting, what do? Well, my kids, 29, 27, they're listening to podcasts or they're listening to Sirius. But I don't. I'm listening normally to talk radio. And if I am on Sirius, then I probably have it on one of I probably have it on Fox. I might listen to CNN. Kids don't do that. I mean, younger millennials normally don't do that. You know what it does? It sets you apart as being an expert, whether it's true or not. You know, I've had people come in. KFAB is the big station in Omaha. I call whatever station Rush Limbaugh's on. That's a big station, and it doesn't have to be the Rush Limbaugh per se. It could be one of the other many talk, and there's much more conservative talk than there is liberal talk. But I'll tell you right now, and you know this, and not getting political, but if you're from the more liberal persuasion, you work with conservatives all day long, half and half, because it's about half left, half right. It makes no difference. I mean, they're still got the same wants, needs, and desires on their retirement plan. And so what happens here is that most of the people that listen, they have some wealth. I have seen, anyway, so far, that the cases that I've got in and the deals that I've written have been bigger than the ones from seminars for whatever reason. Now, maybe next year that could change. But when they hear you, I have had this happen a couple times where someone says, gosh, I got 450,000. I've only met you a couple times. I didn't even know you before that. That's no different than seminars, though, except they hear you perform, and here they hear you on radio. But both of them said, well, if you're on KFAB, then you know what? You wouldn't be on there if you weren't pretty legit. Is that true? What kind of background check did the radio station do of me? Can you say zero? Now they don't need to, but it does. But it garners that respect. It garners that, hey, he must be something or she must be something special because they're on radio. But news talk radio, it's growing. Over 12% of all radio listeners choose to go to talk radio, which has been growing kind of leaps and bounds every single year. And this is just to back up that support. Nielsen is the one. They go on in and they do the questionnaires to outside people and find out what actually people listening. Look at who reached the population. They took tablets, TV connected devices, PC, smartphones, TVs. Radios are the highest. Isn't that wild? And I'll say one of the reasons people spend a lot of time could be in places where you can't get a TV, or you can't really read it off your cell phone, or you're in your car. It's just, you don't watch television in a car. It's illegal. You listen. So there's a lot of commuting. I had a really good prospect that turned into a client. He was driving back from Omaha, and he was driving back from his dad is deceased, but his mom's still living. And in Sioux City's 150 miles away, and this big 50,000 watt station, he heard it on Sunday drive. He was 140 miles away from his home, and he heard me. And we did 700,000 off of that deal. And it was just, you just don't know who's listening, but depending on your station, there's anywhere from maybe 750, 800 people listening to maybe up to 3,000-4,000 people listening. So there's just a lot of coverage. And you know what you only need? I mean, I average per week just under 3 appointments per week, 2 to 3 appointments per week, set appointments, set by the inbound appointment call center. that is pretty darn nice when I see that it goes right on my calendar. We actually have a conduit between our calendar and they know where all my busy times are and blocked off times, like Friday afternoon. After this, I'll stick around for an hour and a half, and then I'm going to go golfing. Yeah, so you know what? In some Fridays I work all day, but every Friday afternoon from 12 on, I don't want appointments. I do not want appointments. Now, have I had it before? And I have. I've had it once that they came back in the message and they said they wanted to have an appointment. The only time they can see you is after work on Friday. And I met with them. And I wish that story ended with the hey, I did 300,000. No, I didn't do any business, but I'm still going to meet when people meet. But most people, they work around my calendar. And after 35 plus years in the business, and that's kind of the way that I want to do. But that's all done by the inbound call center. Okay, so let's go in. I think I jumped one extra one here. Who's on radio? I talked about, why is Rush Limbaugh all over the U.S.? He makes money. Why is Glenn Becker, Kim Komando, and Dave Ramsey? They're making money. Why if you turn on your radio station in your locale, I don't care where you are, I don't care if you're Denver or L.A., you're New York, you're Philadelphia, or Madison, Wisconsin. Hey, Steve, is it Wisconsin or Michigan? Madison, Wisconsin. I don't care where you're at. Is it Wisconsin or Michigan? Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Okay. My geography needs to I did guess it right, though. But, yeah, wherever you are, if you go in and look on Saturday and Sunday, you're going to see other financial shows there. And one of the folks, we've got 8. We just started 2.5 months ago, and we've got 8 cities that we're in right now. And I'm really excited about that. This is big. I mean, this is exciting. You know what? They come across my computer, but I have my emails come on my phone. So mine's Sunday from 12 to 1, and every Sunday when those every time there's a phone call, even a hang up, then I'll get notified that a person called on in. Well, the ones that go to the appointment setting call center, and then I can see right there, has an appointment been set or has it not? But when it's been set, I mean, it's just like Christmas every Sunday. I mean, it's just music to my ears. So I mean, my goal, this doesn't have to be yours, but my goal, if I can get 2, I'm happy. If I can get 3 or more, it's a bonus. Average that. But, I want 10 plus appointments from radio a month. And then I get 10 plus appointments out of Social Security or another seminar system month. That's like 21, 22, 23 appointments. I'm trying to have an appointment every business day. If I can have an appointment every business day, a brand new appointment, I'm as happy as a lark. Because then I'm doing second and third and closing appointments. I'm doing appointments with my own clients. Yeah. I mean, it just keeps on feeding. I stay busy, but it's not just busy, it's productive, and it really has stepped up since I started doing radio here 8-9 months ago. And you can be part of that too. And we'll talk about cost here just in a second, okay? So the content that we have comes from our production firm. So that's not in-house, that's all third-party vendored. So what I did when I started looking at this, I interviewed first media buyers. And they buy radio time or television time. And I found a fella, been in the business for 22 years, great guy, knows the business inside out. Get a load of this. He has 400 plus radio and television shows per week that he's bought time for. That's on the air. He knows any metropolitan, any city above 100 grand. If your area doesn't not have over 100,000 people, or you're not close to a place that has at least 100,000, it's hard to make this work. Then I had a guy that desperately wanted to do it on a town with 18,000, but you know what? I mean, you might have 40 people listening at one time. I've got 3,000 people listening. You need 700-800 people to, I mean, at least. I mean, so I would say 100,000 or more in your metro area. And remember, AM goes out quite a ways. 2 good deals that I had come on in that I closed. Both of them were from a long ways away. Not the one I talked about. That one was in Omaha. He's driving. He was a long ways away when he called in. But yeah, 2 of them. And I've shown 3 of them that's been way away. So I didn't close 1, but I did close 2. But we walk all through that. But yeah, the content's fabulous. So you look at how this is made up. You've got the media buyer. You've got the production company. What's a media buyer? Just buys media. That's their goal. They want to get the best pricing for the media for that hour. And so what happens is, and with that hour, like I think I got 15 or 20 15-second promotions per week. Listen to Dave Pimper with Retirement Boss Radio. Brought to you, and then they hype it up for them to listen to your show. If you had to go out and buy that yourself, just those 15 or 20-second ads would probably cost of what the radio time is. But there's the media buyer, there's the production company. What does the production company do? They have a co-host. They supply the co-host. And if you go to www.retirementbossradio.com, you'll hear my show. You'll hear the co-host that we use. He's very, very good. He does mainly financial shows. They also do some others, but they mainly do financial shows. He's very good at what he does. And so we're the host. All the attention is on us. He's the color guy, just like in sports. He's the color guy. He's trying to make me look good. He's trying to keep the show moving. He brings, when we have the offer, comes in at the right time. Yeah. So, and then they edit the show. They mix the show. They put ads in the show for you, and they put all the music in the show. They supply the offers. I've rehoned those a little bit, and when the content is updated every single week. We just put on a fellow from a southern state that has had his own show for 4 years, and it was pretty darn good in the beginning, and now it's not as good. It's not nearly as good. But one of the reasons is that he's doing his own show, and those guys are sharp. But what happens is they're going over the same material every single show. Well, it just got worn out. We have no doubt that we recycle ideas, through say a quarter or 6 months, but every show note is new, no doubt about it. Myself, yeah, I got a lot of experience. I love to market, and I'm a producer, so I'm producing day to day to day. Wrote business yesterday, wrote business on Tuesday. One was from radio, one was from a seminar, and actually I've got 2 next week. One's going to be from radio, and then one's going to be from my book of business. So my goal is to consistently write business, but I know that I'll be successful if I consistently get in front of new qualified prospects. Marketing is my niche, and radio is one of those niches. So I actually coach you for 3 coaching sessions, and then I'm with you for I'm listening to your shows. I'm trying to give advice of how to make it better. Yeah. And it's a little tough. The first month is you're kind of cutting your teeth, but after that, like I didn't get an appointment for a month. It was my 4th week that I got my first appointment. My first show, I didn't get a call. Imagine that. But what happens is it got better and better. And then you get people, many times I have people come in and say, well, I've been listening to you for a while, and I felt comfortable to come in. I've been listening for a while, and I really like what you're saying. I've been listening for a while, and you mentioned twice about this specific, and I thought I better come in. So you start getting a following. It's like people who listen to Rush Limbaugh. Now, I'm no Rush Limbaugh. You're not going to be a Rush Limbaugh, but we should be all mini, Rush Limbaughs, or a mini, whoever you're a mini Dave Ramsey, or a mini Kim Commando. Yeah, meaning if we can just do a portion of what they do, we get lots of appointments come on in. One of the things people ask me too is, how am I paid? Yeah, I'm not paid in your. You're going to be contracted, at least part of the contracts will go through IAMS, and that's part of how you get this package. But what happens is that I'm paid through IAMS. IAMS pays me. They go in and pay me. I'm on a retainer with them, and it depends on the amount of people. But they want me to help a person in any way they can. Now I'm limited a little bit because I'm in full production. I can't spend 8 hours, on the phone with you one day. But I'm very accessible. I put a lot of hours in. And I'm very, very good with getting back in touch. So by email, by phone, I like to talk. I enjoy, because I normally can get more of the feeling out when you're actually talking with someone. But I'm going to help you get mic'd up. I'm going to help you get ready to go for that very, very first show. And here's another thing too. I've got 2 cities right now out of the 8. The 2 cities are by one fellow that has them out on the West Coast. He's a big producer. And he just says, "Hey, you've already got it figured out, Dave. I've known him for 15 years." And he said he's listened to me, and he said, "Hey, I want you to do it. You do it. You do it. You do it for me." And we got a little different. That's a little different compensation structure with him then, not with you. But what happens is that I actually do the show for him. And so if you want to do this, but you don't have the radio voice, or you don't have the confidence, or in this case he does, but he just didn't have the time, even though you can record in your own office, in your own setting, in your own home. He wanted me to do it. Also, I think what's another question that comes up is, "Hey, I'm only insurance licensed." Well, you know what? That's fine. I mean, there's people that are just insurance licensed. And I'm going to tell you what, I think there's just as many calls coming in with just the insurance license than if you're multi-licensed. Now we don't ever talk about specific subjects. Like, let's specifically talk about mutual funds. Let's specifically talk about fixed indexed annuities. Let's specifically talk about non-traded REITs. We don't do that. We take more of a holistic financial planning approach, more of like 1,000-foot, maybe not 3,000, but 1,000-foot looking down. We don't get in the weeds, because remember, you are compliant, even if you're insurance. I mean, you certainly don't want regulation in the state insurance, or if you're in a broker-dealer, you know how hard it is from compliance. But I will say this, I rewrite those show notes that I get for the production company every week. It takes me 2-3 hours to do that. With straight insurance guys, then I rewrite those again after I'm done, because I do want to lean that a little more towards guarantees, because you can say that if you're just insurance. We can't from the BD side, but you can from the insurance side, or from the insurance. What happens is we're going to talk more about safety. Do I rewrite the whole thing? No, but I take about 15-20% and lean it. So it's an outline. It has A, and then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just to give you an idea, let me take out my last show notes, and I'll give you an idea. I'll give you an idea kind of what the background. So here's what it was. Here's what I said. I have an intro, and I'll do it just like my radio voice. I'll come on, it's recorded, and I'll come on and I say, there are many kinds of risk when it comes to retirement planning, from investment risk to longevity risk. We'll break them down and highlight how to possibly avoid them. And then the co-host comes in. "Hey, Dave, thanks a lot. Hey, Dave, 35 years in the business. That's a long time, isn't it, Dave?" "Yep, you bet." Then we kind of go in, and he asks the question. So here's what I talked about that first segment. There's 2 segments for every 30 minutes. We talked about longevity risk. And then there's A and B, risk of outliving your money. B, whatever your life expectancy is, how long on an average do we think that we live? We confront this risk. It underlies or aggravates other risks, especially financial and long-term care cost risk. Then the next one is financial risk. And then I put a quote in here. And the quote is, "I will tell you the secret of getting rich on Wall Street. You try to be greedy when others are fearful. You try to be fearful when others are greedy," by Warren Buffett. That's under financial risk. And I have that under C, diversification is different than asset allocation. Then there's inflation, tax, and recession risk. And then we have another thing called in the news. And right here, we talk about recessions and in the news. I say in the news. Source, National Association of Business Economics. 10% of 281 economists surveyed in February 2019 believe the U.S. economy will be in a recession by 12/31 of 19. 42% of the group believe a recession will have started by 12/31 of 1920. So I put those in there. That doesn't come from the production firm. And then we talk about healthcare, cost of healthcare risk. Segment 2. Social Security. If you don't know Social Security, then I help you get geared up, because Social Security it's important. I mean, a good amount of calls and people come in and have Social Security questions that lead into business, but then we talk about Social Security. What is the Social Security Act? Regular monthly payments to retirees began in 1940. Why was Social Security created? How has the Social Security retirement changed? So if you're thinking right now, man, I just don't know much about Social Security, I'll tell you right now, part of the program is I normally charge for this, but because of radio and we're getting it started, I may not always do this, but I will coach you up on Social Security so that you understand that, because I think it's important, because not many advisors know much about Social Security, and the ones that do have a step up on those. So don't let that be fearful. I'll tell you right now is that, and I'm here anytime you want to for questions, but that's how the show notes work. And just to let you know, in our show, we only record for a half an hour. That's it. And we repeat the second half an hour. That was the media buyer's idea, and I loved it because our production costs are only half now. They're only half. And they don't like it much, but a lot of people are coming on board, so they do like that. But what happens is that I always go 4 shows back. Now, in the very beginning, I repeated the show twice. The next week, first one, second one. Next week, first one, new one, and then the third one. And it goes to, once you've done it for a month, then you're always repeating 4 shows back for your second segment. And the first part's always brand new. Interestingly enough, and we've seen reports, there's only about 15% of the people or 10% of the people that listen to the entire hour show. They're either driving from point A to B, they're driving from church to the restaurant, or they're driving, to work. It doesn't take an hour. They're not going to be on a station for an hour. They might be on a station for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And that's why we say the telephone number. My number is 1-888-975-BOSS, B-O-S-S, for Retirement Boss Radio. Our goal is to get all of the toll-free numbers that end in 2677, which is the word boss. So we really have fun with that. And so here's what we try to do. At a minimum, on a 12.5-minute segment, we would like to say the phone number in the beginning of it, in the middle of it, and then at least 2 times on the end of every 12.5-minute segment. So that phone number is always out there in front of them, always out there in front of them, always out there in front of them. Sometimes we'll repeat it twice. And so what happens is they're really getting to maybe they can recite that toll-free number. So I've done some tweaks to this. I've done some changes to this, but it seems to have been working really well. And I tell you what, we've had a lot of interest from a lot of folks. So as we're kind of finishing up here, I'll go through those last slides. It's a turnkey system, absolutely. The only, besides, you know what? The cost of radio, if you're doing seminars right now, I'm going to say the cost of radio is not going to be probably any more than what your seminars are. Probably less if they're dinner seminars. So I've seen the cost. This is for a month. For a month, I've seen the cost as little as just under $2,000, and I've seen the cost as high as $6,000. Now, if you get the Rush Limbaugh station in LA or the Rush Limbaugh station in New York, no, you're going to pay big money. But that's the very few. I would say the majority, and we've had, I'm just thinking back on the city. So you know what? There'll be like maybe five main AM radio stations in a great big city. Well, we want to get either the second to the top or the third from the top. That's still a very, very good station. A lot of people listen to it. What happens is that I would say the average cost, this is for the radio time for an hour every week for the month. This is for the production company for doing all the editing, mixing, putting the ads, the sound, the music, having a co-host, getting all that, getting the final product to the radio station, all of that. And then the call center. The call center goes in and we always say, let's open up the phone lines. If you'd like to get you, then we talk about the offer. There's strong offers that we have, and those offers, this is what most radio shows don't have, is a strong offer. Get people off of dead center to call you, to take action, to go in and make that appointment with the income appointment setting call center. All of that appointment setting call center, that's covered. And then all of my coaching and all of my support that you get from our staff and my team, with Lynn and with Amy and with Lori. Lynn is the mainstay. in my office, but also Lori and Amy are my other two administrators. They help some also. But what happens, I would say the average cost in a city is probably on the second highest radio AM station talk, the kind of the Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Dave Ramsey station. I would say, and I'm just really guessing on this, but it might run you $3,000 a month. You know, might be 35. You know, I've seen it certainly higher. I've seen it certainly lower. But I will tell you this: if your production right now, you know it could be higher. If you go to bed at night and think, you know what, I'm a good salesperson, I'm a pretty good process person. If I could just get in front of more people, I'm not saying that radio is going to do. I'll guarantee you radio will do that. But I'll tell you what, it certainly helped my business through the years. Radio has been a very good medium, and now that we've got the new system, and I've put this together with real strong offers to come in, it has made a big difference in my production. My production this year doing radio over last year, it's up 33% right now. And you know, when you've been in business since 1981, it's hard to be up in 1 year 33%. I may not end up 33 because I had 3 or 4 big size deals come through. But you know what? If I'm just up 15%, that's a lot. That's a lot. So it's a turnkey system. I mean, the airtime is negotiated to the hilt by the media buyer and the professional call center. Oh, we also have some, and I'll go back, iTunes. Yeah, that's kind of cool. You know, I think it's between $50 and $100 a month. You can go and have this published on podcast from iTunes. Of course, that's strictly for yourself. If you want to do that, that's individual. You get this on your every time from our appointment setting call center. You know, and this actually the week I did one, I put this on there. But as you can see, what's highlighted. The source was KFAB Radio in Omaha. Appointment was set by the appointment setting call center. The day was 3/5 at 19. Appointment time was 8:30 in the a.m. and this was on 3/5. It was on 3/5 as the appointment. But says turning 59 soon, hasn't settled in on someone yet, meaning an advisor. He has a 401k that is 7-figured. They lied to me. It was $987,000. It had gone down some since what he thought, but also had questions about Social Security. The cool thing here is he turns 59 and a half. I know this off the top of my head. On October the 18th of this year, he turns 59 and a half. What's neat about that? He's still working for the firm. We called, and he has an in-service non-hardship withdrawal plan. He can pull money out and still work there. He can pull all of it or part of it. And at the time, he said he'd consider taking $500,000 of the $1 million out. $500,000. I'm working half the money, which is $500,000. And I've been staying with him now. Every month, I give him a call or I bail him out a piece just to keep that contact going. So most of them are seeing you right there, and the money's available. But I thought that was pretty interesting, and I put it on in to kind of go over in the webinar. So, you know, hosting your own, it kind of gives you a star quality. And I told you about that www Retirement Boss Radio. That's where you want to go on. Kind of gives you a background of us. So as we close down here, and then we're going to open up a poll. If you heard something today that you said, you know what, I think I could do that. If you heard something today, you said, you know what, maybe that'll get me out of kind of the slump that I am. Maybe you're maybe you're a fixed index. I'm just saying this, but maybe you're a $5 million a year producer and you've been there for the last 4 or 5 years, but you want to take this up to 8 or 9 million. I'm telling you right now, some of the larger producers in the financial service arena are on radio. I mean, why is Rick Edelman with Financial Engines, who bought the mutual fund store from Adam Bowles, why is he on national radio? In fact, I was with the broker dealer 20 years ago. They had 7 people from the field, and I was on the board with them of 7 producers. But Rick Edelman, why is that? You know, why is Ron Carson, $12 billion under management? He's in Omaha, Nebraska. Yep, Ron's done very, very successful. He was at LPL, and now he's with Cetera.
Cetera, I think. Yep.
Yeah, that's right, Cetera. Why is he on radio? Why is he on local radio station here every week? You know why? Because it brings him in business. Why am I on it? It brings me in business. Why aren't you on it? I don't know. You should be on it. If you can kind of go through the show notes, and you have to be kind of quick on your feet. You got to be able to ad lib a little bit. But if you're in sales and you're successful, maybe this could be for you. So we're after this next slide, we're going to put a poll up, and on that poll, it's going to say, yes, I'd like to talk to Dave Pimper. Yeah, I'd like to get more information. There's no commitment on your part. This is not for everyone, but I'll tell you right now, if it works, it normally works very, very well. And because it's recorded, I thought this was very good. Al Jolson, actor, he said, I'd like to do radio just like pictures, using motion pictures. Leave the imperfect stuff on the cutting room floor. Well, you know what? With our turnkey recorded system, that sounds 100% live. You can leave those mistakes on the cutting room floor. So it says there, would you like any information on products discussed today? The products, of course, are Retirement Boss Radio, the hour-long pre-recorded turnkey system that hopefully can get you in front of set qualified appointments by the call center. Steve, as we're going to leave this poll open a little bit, I'm going to ask if there was any questions, and then you can certainly kind of, we can go ahead and you can kind of close this up.
Thanks, Dave. So there are two questions about pricing, and of course, I know you went over that a little bit, but can you break down the pricing for them as to what's kind of a hard cost, a production cost, and then what's the soft cost? I know you talked a little bit about that, but can you go over that again?
Yeah, you've got the airtime cost that is variable according to the market. I've seen it as low as $150 per week. So in a month, that would be, well, in 4 weeks, that would be $600. In 4 weeks, it'd be $600. I've seen as low as that. I've worked with it as high as 1,000. Now, certainly can be higher if they, but that has been the highest that we've had, that we've worked with. Now, that's per week. Now, normally it's going to be $300-400. That's kind of what we've seen. So that's your airtime. So you might as well figure if it's $400 times $1,600, and then the call center is about $225. So what happens is then production is $1,000 set. So the production is set at $1,000, and then it depends, but give or take $10-15, but it's about $225 a month for the call center. So you're going to have about $1,250, and then it depends on how much your airtime per month is. And that's why I said it averages $3,000 to $4,000. That's about the average. Could it be higher? Sure. Could be lower. But just remember this. It's like in real estate. You can have the best radio station at the worst time. You can have the best radio station, but you've got a 2 a.m. show. It's going to be horrible. But you can have a horrible station and have the very best time. Say it's a 12 noon time on Saturday. It's still not going to be very good because it's a terrible radio station. You need a good radio station with a good time. So that in our business, that's location, location, location. That's what the media buyer. I've got two other people that right now would be doing radio, but we can't get the right show at the right time. We got the station, we got options, but the radio buyer says, I'm not happy. And he knows he's been doing this for 22 years. I've been on the retail side for 25 years. He's been on the wholesale radio buying side. He's really the expert. So we got our heads together, and they're waiting it out. They're waiting for a show to come due. So that kind of gives you a breakdown of there's three costs. Only cost that's up front out of your pocket. There's nothing for the coaching and my support because that's covered by IAMS. But what happens is to get, I call it studio in a box. You've got the microphone, you've got the headphones, you've got the windscreen so you don't hear the popping noises, the P's. And then you've got, sometimes there's a box if your room echoes. We've got a deadening box with foam. And then the software that you plug into, all of that we pay for the software, but the others you just order through Amazon yourself, and the cost is about $150. So that is the only cost that is on yourself. than besides the show itself. So hopefully that helps them about the pricing there.
You helped them not only in the pricing, but you answered the next two questions, which how do I go about setting up for recording? So you answered that. So it's a pretty simple thing. You do that right in your office using the microphone setup and the production quality. That's how Dave does it.
Or Steve, I was supposed to say, or their home. If they're insurance and they don't have an office, people say, "Do I have to have an office?" No. You know with Insurance AC Market Services, how many people do we have that's in that top 10? Some of those guys work out of their home, don't they? They're strictly insurance.
Yeah.
And they're very good. They're very strong. So, no, I tell you what, I mean, some people think you've got to be this big, beautiful office and have this high overhead. No, I'm telling you what, but you have to be able to have the capacity to handle a lot of appointments. And if you can do that, you know what? Then it's really a win-win. Absolutely.
One last question that we haven't covered yet is questions on Social Security. So the question is kind of amorphous here for me. It just says Social Security seminars ? So I'm guessing that what Tom is asking there is, do you offer Social Security seminars? You want to talk about that for a second, or do you want to talk to Tom one-on-one?
I think what he might mean, because I brought up Social Security, and I kind of emphasized that today. I think Social Security, not that I think, Steve, you and I know.
We know it.
Social Security is it's a buzzword, isn't it? It's a hot subject. That's right. And you know why? Steve, what's the reason? Why is it a hot subject for advisors?
Oh, I think a couple reasons. Number one, the timing. They're talking to people just the right age. Number two, there's been so much, even in the general media, questions have surfaced regarding Social Security, and there just isn't a lot of places that people could get information on Social Security.
There you go.
So it's just those three things together.
That's right. That's what I want you to say. You know what happens is, and you know what? Not only 3% of the public really understands Social Security, and only about 15% of advisors. I didn't get this deal, but the gal came in and she said, she said, I have an advisor. I said, that's fine, no problem. She goes, so I'm not going to leave him, but I'm here because he doesn't know Social Security. Well, what's interesting, and I tried to get it, but I couldn't. But I tell you what, I just saw this statistic. In fact, I saw this at my advisory firm that I just went to, Steve, that I've done business with for 20 years. Mm-hmm. What happens is 70, and you know what, I need to get this, but 70% of people whose advisors don't know Social Security, they will leave their advisor for an advisor that does. Now, that's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
now
scary.
that gal I talked to wasn't one. I'm going to get that. I'm going to call out there and get this slide, Steve, because we should really show that. But that's how much I believe in Social Security. So I'm just saying, if you don't know for Social Security very well, I'll coach you up on Social Security if you go in and you're doing radio, because that is one of the ongoing kind of reoccurring themes. Because I looked back, and about 40% of all the money that came in started because they had a question on Social Security with radio.
Interesting.
So you know what's great about that too, Steve, is that for the people listening today, if you work the pre-retired crowd and retired crowd, and you're doing income planning of any type, how really can you do that without knowing the income stream of Social Security and how to maximize it?
Yep.
And so the beautiful thing is, if they sign up for radio, and I normally charge for this because that's how I make my money is by coaching, but I will coach you through Social Security, and you can call me anytime you want to. And so it's kind of a double good thing. It's a two-edged sword that's dull on both ends, but now I'm going to sharpen them up for you in that not just will you get more hopefully qualified appointments coming in, but you finally learn social. There's no one out there that says, if I could learn it easily, I still wouldn't. No one says that.
No.
They don't, because it's a complicated subject, but I'll help them on that. You bet.
Well, Tom may have been addressing the idea, because do you advertise your Social Security seminars on your radio show, Dave? Do you let people know?
I do not. The recording is always done 2 weeks behind the show. And certainly I could if I wanted to. I should, though, Steve. You mentioned that to me before. I don't, but I should. I should say up and coming. We've got it called in, but you know what? I haven't, because I've had such good success of it just regularly. But there's ways to cross market this within your book of business, also, I'm sure.
Yep. And the last question, and this just popped up for us. So he wants to listen to your radio show. How? I guess the best way to do that is probably via your website, right, Dave?
Yeah, if you go to www.retirementbossradio.com. If you go to that website, that's our website, Retirement Boss Radio's website, and there'll be my radio shows on there. They're 30-minute clips, and you'll be able to hear just from last week. It gets uploaded every single week. And I'll tell you what, we're going to close this. I'm going to let Steve close on this. I'm the one that put this together, but IAMS has certainly had Steve Murray and IAMS has had impact. They've certainly helped us with all of our online stuff and bringing things together, and they certainly give me the platform to really have a lot of advisors to be able to give this as an opportunity for them to market their practice. But you know what? Call's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. I'm not here to hard sell you. I'm here to see what you're doing, kind of why you're doing it, what type of success you've had with your marketing, and could this be something that could help you down the road? And you know what? If it is, yeah, it's going to be a good fit. If it's not, then maybe you got some good information and we'll go on our way. But I'd love to talk with you and get some insight and see if there's something there where we can connect on.
Thank you, Dave. That's good stuff. One thing I would say about that is that Dave it's been a good team relationship between IAMS and Dave that basically in the end helps our producers. And so it's a great thing for you out there as well. So we're interested in helping you find ways to meet more people and to sharpen your skills. And Dave has been a great help to us and our producers on that over the past 13 years. So good relationship. We'd love to help you. That's what we do here at IAMS, and that's what we do in conjunction with Dave. So if we can help you, let us know. Give us a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. Be glad to give you any insight that you need that you didn't feel like you got from today's radio program. Put you right in touch with Dave as well if that's what you'd like. So we appreciate the opportunity to work with you. Have a great finish to your Friday and a great weekend. Dave, thank you for your time. I know your schedule is crammed full here, so I appreciate you taking a few minutes out for us.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Everybody have a really fun weekend.
Thanks, Dave. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.